Chris Olds, Beckett Basketball here. We have a client here who just got a bunch of really rare cards graded. If you know what these are, you know how much of a big deal it is. So I'm just going to talk here a bit and show them to you. Perhaps the largest of the two are probably this guy. A pair of Michael Jordan 97-98 Flair Showcase Masterpieces, row 0 and row 1, both one of ones. And these cards are among many that have been slabbed as authentic or graded by Beckett Grading Services, and they are owned by Ted Yates, who is from San Francisco, who actually personally delivered these cards. So tell me a little bit about what we're looking at here, and then kind of how you got into them.
Well, these are the cream of the crop of the 96-97 NBA basketball set and the 97-98 basketball set with Jordans and Kobe's.
Which obviously these days, Jordan and Kobe are tough to beat in terms of interest from collectors.
There's a lot of speculation going on these cards, I believe. I'm not trying to pop any bubbles here.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have these cards graded to begin with because my feeling is that each card is individually numbered, has its own identity. And so I recently tried to put these, I recently had these on auction, and I was getting questions. How come you've got so many raw cards? Is there something wrong with these cards? And my fact is, I just don't care. I didn't think they needed grading.
Because of what they are.
Because of what they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Each card stands on its own. And I still feel that way about the Masterpiece cards. Those, I brought in 13 Masterpiece cards, and they were all authenticated, but no grades.
Right.
Because you have no other row 0 Michael Jordan Masterpiece card
to compare
it to.
Right.
And I'm not going to have a little competition for what the prettier card is.
I mean, that's the thing. These kind of cards, they stand on their own as what they are. I think the general kind of population always worries that are they fakes somehow, and so
Right.
that's why slabbing as authentic is a good move for sure. So you said you have 13 one of ones.
Just for the basketball, yes.
Yeah, and then so what other kind of crazy? We got a lot of piles here, but what are we looking at?
We have the row 0s here that are very difficult to catch a 9 in, apparently.
Michael Jordan.
This is Michael Jordan row 0. We have a number of,
Just look at that.
quite a number. I couldn't pop above a 9 though. I couldn't get above an 8, 8.5. And that's the row 0.
Okay.
The row 1s, again, it's a tough card to get graded high.
Yeah, the printing technology. I mean, the stock they used and the thickness of it, and the foil and the actual printing process. Sometimes those 9s and higher can be tough.
They were difficult.
Yep.
And this is the row 2. Not a 9 to be had.
Now, if you're a Jordan collector, clearly you understand the significance of these. These are all numbered to, I think,
150 of these cards. There was a total population of 450 Jordan cards in the 96-97 showcase product.
Mm-hmm.
Moving to the 97-98 showcase product, this was the first product that has the Masterpiece included in it. These are the row 0s. I have 10 row 0s here. And I pulled a 9.5 out of this, and
That's crazy.
Any other gold in here? Nope, not for this product. Not for this one. And
So
then,
overall, I don't want to put you on the spot for money-wise or anything, but I think, do you want to mention how much the auction was you were trying to get for these? I mean, this is a serious collection, so.
this is a serious collection. The opening bid was $395,000. And nobody licked the button at that point.
Yeah.
So I said, come on, guys. I mean, okay. And then the feedback I was receiving was too many raw cards here. It was too much product. I had 12 sets included in this.
Yeah, it wasn't just
So
these, it was more than this.
Yes, this is the gravy, but I had to go through about 4,000 cards before I could put the Jordan Masterpieces in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to kiss a lot of frogs to get to the prints.
Yeah. So I mean, what was it about Showcase that got you back in the day, or how long have you collected these actually?
I collected Showcase the day they came out.
Okay.
I've got a box of the first product release. what attracted me to these cards was the simple fact that they were numbered.
Mm-hmm.
There was no, well, the factory says these are short prints.
Right, right.
I had no way to know whether a card was in fact short printed or not until they came out with this product here. And prior to this product, the other product that had caught my eye was the Topps Gallery with the Peter Max edition signed.
Yeah, those are cool.
I actually started on those. I have a complete set of football of those. The 1 to 10, those are numbered to 42, I believe, either 40 or 42. And the baseball set, I'm still looking to pick up a couple more of those. Numbered to 40 again. These are hand-numbered cards signed by Peter Max, the artist.
Right.
And I've been into art for a bit, and I know the rarity of something that's printed to 100 or 500 is actually the largest edition you should really even look at. When I saw these come out at 150, it just became mind-boggling that people weren't snatching these up more and more.
And you know what's interesting is the hobby has changed a lot since these years. Now we've gone to even more micro, tiny, print runs.
Absolutely.
But the difference is these were hard pulls back then, where I don't think they posted actual odds.
Yeah, the break was actually pretty close to you'd pull one in the original 96, 97 product. You would pull one legacy card out of approximately every two to 2.5 boxes, maybe 3 boxes.
Yeah.
And you had no chance of identifying. I mean, it was all on a whim whether you would get a card.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's changed so much yet because the wax runs were so much higher back then. The stuff like this, even though it's plentiful in terms of 150 copies, the stuff outsells a lot of the new contrived out of 25s and 5s.
Well, those exactly right. They really, you can buy, that's kind of like what Salvador Dali was doing. He would change, he would be a run to 150 and then he would change the background color, a very minor change, and print out another 150. So you would end up with many multiples of the same product, slight variations. This had no, they didn't play any games with this. This was straight out front, limited edition, and I saw it and I climbed on the bandwagon very early.
So you talked about art. Are you an art collector, or do you have an art background, or what do you do?
Advertising is what we've been doing. Direct mail advertising agency, direct marketing agency in San Francisco. Yates Advertising is our company, and we.
So I presume. Go ahead. Sorry. Like you're a lifelong collector, I presume, too. So
actually, this product started.
Really,
yes.
That's even more interesting because a lot of the times, people, your age and my age and younger, they start as kids. So this was it, huh?
I started this. My dad was in the Air Force. We traveled every year. You got to carry one little suitcase. You had nothing else with you.
Yeah.
Sports cards were quite a luxury. We finally settled down in San Francisco after my dad had retired, and I had children and my 2 boys. I wanted to get involved with them in cards, so back in 93, 94, I was involved with the Flair, when the Flair product first came out. So about the 93 Flair.
That was a popular one for a lot of people. It was just
it's a
very
quality,
different.
Thick, beautiful cards. The photography was excellent. And that's what caught my attention. And I actually own stock in Marvel, which was the company that ended up buying Flair.
That's cool.
And I've got certificates, and it's so even back then I was collecting the ephemera that goes along with the hobby.
So bigger picture, you had tried to sell your showcase of showcase, so to speak. Now you've got them slabbed and authenticated. Do you have any inclination to not sell at all now, or is it kind of one of those things where this is a good move to help move it all?
I think it'll still be a good time to offer these up on the market again, even though there's such a large quantity. I will probably minimize the auction to include just the Jordans and the Kobes.
Yeah, because his stuff is just crazy right now. We hear about, I think, what was it, I think one of the metal sets, from around the same time frame, a card numbered to 50 went for just crazy money.
Yeah.
I think it was the green emerald or emerald
numbered
metal
or something.
Yeah, they're not really rare, but they're just because of Michael Jordan and the lack of wax to bust. The people that did find them back in the day who were collectors, they they're tucked away in a box somewhere, or, dealers who amassed a large quantity that may not sell anymore.
Right.
The actual available quantities out there from day to day are pretty low at times.
That's right.
So that's where, it's fun to see kind of emerging markets and stuff that people have sort of forgotten about, but they never really were forgotten about because they're still popular.
That's right.
So okay, so what are your future plans with this then? So you definitely probably will be testing the market.
I will probably put my toe back in the market within the next week or so.
All right. Well, it looks like you, not to go too company crazy, but it looks like you made a pretty good decision here with authentication and slabbing. So that can't hurt. So
I think so. This doesn't hurt too bad right here.
Michael Jordan, 9.5s. I hope the lighting holds up. It's kind of hard to photograph these because of the foil.
You can see they actually did quite a better print job. This is I didn't realize this. This is the first time I've looked at these cards since I got them back. I did not realize that this row 3. Oh my gosh.
And how many of these were made? What are they numbered to?
These are numbered to 100. The 97, 98 is in fact a shorter print run, a total shorter print run than the 96, 97. These are numbered to 100. There's a 400 card product total for Jordan, and you have 4 masterpieces, rows 0, 1, 2, and 3.
Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Do you have any other thoughts or any other things that came to mind, or if I missed anything?
No, just keep collecting. And there is one thing: avoid the counterfeit cards if you can. There was a product that was 97, 98. The product was somehow disappeared out the building and was an unfinished product. This is an example of an unfinished product. It has no script name as it should be here.
Right.
And to compare it with the Michael Jordan that has the script name.
Right.
And the number.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. A large quantity of the unfinished print sheets got out there and kind of had some numbering added after the fact and such. And you said that the giveaway there is the of is actually a 0.
Yes, that's correct. If you look at it, it's a 0280F100 instead of OF. So this is like buying a Bolex watch.
Yeah.
It is incorrectly printed, probably on purpose. Now this card, so many of these disappeared that they could not finish the print run for the 98 baseball row 1. So what they did was they took the masterpiece blanks they had left over, which is signified by the section 0, row 1, and finished the print run using
those instead.
Using these cards. These are perfectly legitimate cards. They're not an error card. You will notice that they have 0F on the bottom.
Right.
Or
OF.
OF instead of 0F.
Yep. Now, see, I wouldn't have noticed that until you mentioned it. It showed me both.
The font, you put them side by side and the font becomes evident.
Yep.
And it's a good card. There's approximately 6 or 7 to each row 1, the first 60 players. It's a viable subset if you're looking for something else to collect.
Something definitely hard to track down there. Definitely different stuff. So if you know your showcase, you know how big of a deal these right here are too. The good old masterpieces, 1 of 1s. Got Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant again. I don't know if I'm keeping time here real well.
99, that's...
Michael Jordan ×2, Brian Williams, Karl Malone again. Kind of the glare is kind of fun too, but overall it's an amazing lot of cards. Fun to see these in the office, and here's the guy who's got them all for now. So thank you very much.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
All right.
Thank you much.
Thank you.